Hello, beautiful stardust. Welcome to the Earth and I YouTube space. Thank you for tapping on this video. Thank you for being here, and welcome to the family. As you know, here we flow. So let's go. Competition. Now, this is a sensitive topic because it's something so common and so just normally accepted. It's something we've actually become conditioned to be comfortable with, to not blink an eye out at. But competition is actually a very sick survivalist mechanism. And competition puts us in fight or flight. So, how can we eradicate ourselves from competition? And why would we want to do this? I've been pondering this a lot recently, and so I'm allowing this flow to come through, and I thank you for your curiosity. Eradicating ourselves from competition is gaining an understanding of ourselves that goes beyond any seen or measurable circumstances. It goes beyond anything that we can tangibly see and understand. It's very normal to be in competition because we are basically brainwashed into believing that only what you see exists. Only what we say is good or right exists. And our mind is functioning off of that system, and therefore it washes us into whatever alley or avenue that aligns the most with our true nature. Yet it strips us of what really makes us different. That's what happens in competition. You are willing to abandon the parts of yourself that you feel are extra weight or that won't make you first or make you win. And what that really ends up doing is making everybody try to be the same person, to try to do the same things. That's why there's such limitations in outlets. There's such limitations in who has a voice, in who's in power, hence why it's the 1%, because that's such a small amount. Why is eradicating from competition something we would like to do? Well, because our creative nature is unlimited. And so when we're constantly putting it in a space of limited expression, and on top of that, a very monitored space of expression and a very fast-paced and survivalist state of expression, it's not coming out full. It's not coming out true. And we are paying for that as the vessel. We're limiting the amount of creative juices that are flowing. We're limiting the true power of our voice. This light is just perfect right now. The more that we open our eyes to realize how present competition is, that can be a big motivator too. If you're watching this video, you are obviously curious of, your higher purpose, your higher path, and you want to get out of that fight or flight, get out of the rat race. A big part of the rat race, I don't ever want to use any verbiage that, makes someone feel negative. What I mean by rat race is this constant loop of unsatisfaction. And a big part of why we stay on that loop is because we've been so conditioned to believe that we aren't good enough because of this overdrive of competition. There's always someone better than us. There's always someone doing more than us. And instead of just accepting that, we feel like our survival is on the line. So we have to keep working. We have to keep producing. We have to keep making things happen. As creative beings, we need as much space as possible because we are dealing with unlimited potential. We are dealing with mystery. Moving away from that competitive realm really empowers us to allow our expressions to be unfiltered, to be raw and real. And the more that we do that, the more that we're allowing life force to flow through us. And inevitably, we're attracting and magnetizing more aligned and meant to be life experiences and people. We don't have to take any sparse action in terms of moving away from the competition loop. But what we have to do is realize that we are a divine being, that we are one of a kind, literally. Like, no one can be you. No one could do the work that you need to do. No matter how much you've been conditioned to believe that, oh, well, yeah, I'm just another, human walking this planet. Yeah, but you have a unique mission. You have unique gifts. You have unique things to do and unique ways of doing them. That's kind of what that's been washed away from our memory, is that remembrance that, oh yeah, I'm the only one that can do this. I'm the only one that can be, you know, this role and that role and that role and do this and do that. And that's a big point of that. Once we start really embracing that, we can't be pinned against anybody else. And that's also another distraction, when you're always competing with the people around you, you're not asking the bigger questions. That's one of the best things that you can do for yourself, is to live in a world that is not competitive, but that is supportive. It's kind of hard to live in a supportive world and a competitive world at the same time. Sure, it exists, but it's very unnatural. Because when you're genuinely supporting someone, when you're genuinely supporting yourself, you're accepting all works of the art. You're accepting all forms of the embrace and true, genuine support. And when you're in competition, a little competition is healthy, of course, like testing yourself and testing and that kind of thing. Not all competition is bad, but for it to be dominating our lives and our mindsets, that keeps us in survival mode. And of course, another big thing with eradicating ourselves from competition is that it moves us more into the understanding of abundance. Competition has to do with limitation, that there's limited spots available, that there's limited amounts of people that can receive applause. That's just not true. That's just one form of how life is being played with on the planet, which is okay. I don't want to play that way. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to compete with people or compare myself to people, because I know that I'm doing something that has never been done before. We all are. We don't need to just keep carrying this dead weight around and live in this space that feels like we're never getting really anywhere or really expressing and fully completing cycles from our heart. You can look around at the people who surround you and recognize that they see the world in their own way. They understand things in a completely different realm. No one has had the experiences that you have. No one has the perceptions that you have. No one understands those warm, cozy moments that you've had, or that love that you received, or those special moments with a stranger. And that, my loves, is something that can never be competed against. Really knowing thyself is the end of all competition. Abundance wouldn't play such a silly game, and neither should we. As you know, we're always playing. Just play with the idea. You don't need to do anything rash, but just play with that idea that you don't have to compete with anyone or anything. And if you are, and that's not in alignment, you can change that. You can stop. And so much of it is just coming from our own minds. That's the craziest part. When you start embracing the true, unique essence of the journey, there's no need for competition. And that's a big blockage that I've experienced, is that I am really so in love with life and just the magic of my own creations and my own ideas, yet I would find myself, feeling bad for myself. Like, well, this person did that, and that person's already there, and this person's there. Well, no, that's not my life. That's not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be right here, right now. And the more that we kind of erode that mindset and really start pulling back the layers, it becomes so much more natural. Thank you so much, love. Thanks for being here. Your light is your light. Your love is your love. Your path is your path. May we all embrace that for ourselves and for one another. Thank you again. I will see you on the next one.